Throughout history, civilizations have risen and fallen, leaving behind stories of their greatness. Among these stories, an ancient record tells of a powerful and noble people. As the sun sets over Africa's vast lands, stories come to life, stories of mighty kings and beautiful queens with dark, rich skin. The Bible, one of the oldest books in the world, holds many of these ancient stories. Join us on an exciting journey through time as we rediscover the history of Africa and its people. These stories may have been forgotten by the world, but they will always remain part of Africa's legacy. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. We have a lot of exciting content coming your way. Now, let's dive into the history of Black and African ancestors according to the Bible. The Bible says that all people today are descendants of Noah's 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. This includes black people and those with dark skin, who trace their ancestry back to Ham, one of Noah's sons. Shem is the ancestor of Arabs, Jews, and Syrians. Japheth is the ancestor of Europeans and Asians. Ham is the ancestor of Africans and black people. Join us as we continue exploring the incredible history of Africa and its people. The Bible says that Ham, one of Noah's sons, was the ancestor of African and black people. His name is often linked to Africa, and the Book of Psalms connects him to the ancient Egyptians. Many old Jewish and other traditions also say that Africans are descendants of Ham. His children and their descendants are associated with African regions and people. The name Ham means burned or dark in Hebrew, Aramaic, and other ancient languages, referring to the color of his skin and hair. In Genesis 10, the Bible lists Ham's children, including Cush, who became the ancestor of many African people, and Mizraim, who became the father of the Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians were also descendants of Ham. It is important to note that Arabs, Jews, and Syrians refer to Egypt as Mizraim because it was named after its founder, Mizraim, one of Ham's sons. Ham had other sons, including Put, also called Phut, and Canaan. Canaan refers to both a land and a group of people. Ham's first son, Cush, became the ancestor of several nations, including the Ethiopians and the people of Nubia, which was once known as the Kingdom of Cush. Many African groups today can trace their ancestry back to Cush. The people of Samaria are believed to have descended from Nimrod, Cush's rebellious son. Nimrod is thought to have come from ancient Babylon. Some people from South India and various African groups, such as those from Mali, Eritrea, Kenya, the Congo, and the Bantu people of Gabon, are also believed to have Kushite heritage. In the Bible, the word Cush is often used to refer to Ethiopia, Sudan, and parts of Africa, as it originally meant black or Ethiopia in ancient languages. Canaan and Mizraim were also sons of Ham. Mizraim is believed to be the ancestor of the ancient Egyptians and many people in North Africa. The dark-skinned Tuaregs and Berbers are also linked to Ham's descendants. Semitic people, such as Arameans, Arabs, and Israelites, refer to Egypt as Mishra. In Psalm 78 verse 51, the Bible says that God struck down the firstborn sons of Egypt, calling them the first fruits of manhood and mentioning the tents of Ham. Ham had another son named Put, also called Phut, who was born after Mizraim. The name Put comes from a word meaning landmark and is connected to clan hunters in Africa. Put is believed to be the ancestor of the Black Libyans and several other African groups. There is also a well-known story in the Bible about the curse of Ham or the curse of Canaan. Many people have misunderstood this story. In Genesis 9, the Bible tells how Noah became drunk, and his son Ham saw him naked but did nothing to help. Instead, he mocked Noah and told his brothers about it. However, this story can be understood in different ways, and it is not the main focus of the Bible's message. In response, Noah placed a curse on one of Ham's sons. Noah's actions may seem extreme, but during that time, respecting one's father was very important, almost like a religious duty. Noah's drunkenness was likely an accident because he had just discovered how to make wine from grapes, something that had never been done before. He didn't know it would make him drunk. Because of this, God did not punish him. Ham had 4 sons, Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan, who are believed to be the ancestors of many African and black populations. The Bible connects these people to ancient African civilizations, including the Egyptians, Ethiopians, and other African nations. However, it's important to understand these stories in their historical and cultural context, as they reflect the beliefs of ancient times. Also, the Bible is not the only source for understanding the origins and history of Black and African people. Scholars and researchers use many other fields, such as archaeology, linguistics, genetics, and oral traditions, to uncover the true history of human civilization. As we continue to learn more about history, it is important to keep researching and discussing the origins, migrations, and cultures of Black and African people. It is also very important to correct a common misunderstanding. The idea that African people were cursed in the Bible is completely wrong. The only person who was cursed was Canaan, Ham's grandson, not all African people. Ham, who is believed to be the ancestor of many African and South Indian people, was born before the Great Flood and lived for a very long time. He was able to see several generations of his family grow. Like his brother Shem, Ham is believed to have lived for about 600 years, or possibly even longer. While the Bible does not give his exact age, it suggests that he lived a very long life. Ham lived for at least 600 years, but the exact location of his burial is unknown. Different theories suggest that his tomb could be in Ethiopia, Nubia, or Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians lived. However, most people believe he was buried in Africa, possibly in Sudan, Ethiopia, or even Egypt, a land full of ancient secrets and discoveries. The Book of Jubilees, an ancient Jewish text that was once considered important, gives more details about Ham's later years and his family. It says that Ham was unhappy when his youngest son, Canaan, chose to settle in the land of Shem, which is now Israel. Ham's other son disagreed with Canaan's decision because they believed that African lands were meant for Ham's descendants. Despite their objections, Canaan stayed in Shem's land against his family's wishes. According to the Book of Jubilees, Ham was the first person to build a city after the Great Flood. He named it 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐸 after his beloved wife. It's important to understand these ancient texts in their historical and cultural context. The Bible contains many complex stories, and it's important to avoid misunderstandings that could spread false beliefs, especially those that wrongly associate curses with entire groups of people. Thank you for watching. We hope this discussion gave you a better understanding of the Bible's history. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss our future videos. Stay tuned for more episodes where we explore important topics in the Bible.